Trump is in Scotland, I assume, to visit the ancestral home of McDonald's? So let's find out more in our ongoing segment, Trump Meets World.
International humiliation, one after another.
As we said, Trump is in Scotland right now, seeing as his favorite island destination has been shut down.
Circus Desi was the lion tamer. Cracking the Desi Lydic didn't just roast Donald Trump, she practically dropped a comedy nuke on his political ego. Armed with razor-edged sarcasm and zero patience for the chaos parade, she dismantled his blunders, inflated self-image, and fantasy policies with sniper-like precision. Every brag became a punchline, every contradiction, prime roast material. If Trump was the hip and stealing the spotlight,
Kick things off with meme coin entrepreneur Donald Trump, who also moonlights as President of the United States. Yesterday, he went to Fort Bragg to give a speech to his favorite men in uniform who aren't in the Village People. He was there to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the Army, so of course, he ended up discussing Joe Biden.
We had a grossly unfit president. And by the way, I've known this guy for a long time. He was never the sharpest bulb.
Sharpest bulb. What a wordsmith.
Trump's presidency feels like it was scripted by a billionaire with a Twitter addiction. Writing on hotel Wi-Fi from 2009, Desi didn't just roast him. She deep-fried the whole ego casserole, sprinkled it with cold, hard facts, and served it with an extra-large side of absurdity. Think satire marinated in narcissism, slow-cooked to perfection.
Finally, Donald Trump is going to release the Epstein files. He is the only president with the courage to... Hello? President said what? It's like I've always said, enough with the Epstein files, all right? Just move on already. I've been watching Fox News for 253 hours straight, and I'm ready to Fox-plain why the Epstein files are a massive scandal that MAGA patriots everywhere must stand up and...
So here he is again, standing at the podium like a human gold-plated trophy to bad decisions. Chest out, chin up, hair defying both gravity and logic. His speeches now resemble the ramblings of a motivational speaker at a timeshare seminar who just discovered energy drinks 5 minutes ago. It's like watching a reality show where the main character doesn't know they're not supposed to be the comic relief.
And then there he was, standing at the podium like a gold-plated trophy to questionable decisions. Chest puffed, chin high, hair defying both gravity and reason. His speeches sounded less like policy and more like a caffeinated timeshare salesman. On his fifth energy drink, watching him talk was like watching a reality show star who doesn't realize they're the punchline.
It's official. America's elected its first criminal president before electing its first female president. What a day for proud felonists. What the actual America? We have had 2 qualified, accomplished women nominated for president, and both times they lost to the worst man in the...
Desi glanced at his latest executive orders and called it what it was: political cosplay for people who thought The Apprentice was in the Constitution. In the middle of real crises, Trump decided America's top priority was another press conference with the nutritional value of cotton candy and the attention span of a squirrel on espresso.
Kamala Harris is crushing it. She's up in the polls. She's raising tons of money. She collected the white man infinity stone. It all poses a big problem for Donald Trump, who's been trying everything he can think of to stop her ascent. He's been insulting her race even more, insulting her gender, even more race stuff.
He strutted into office like a man auditioning for a role he already failed at 4 years ago. This time with more sequence and less shame. His policies are basically Mad Libs written during a sugar crash. One moment it's about saving the economy, the next it's a full-blown tirade about toilets that don't flush enough. At this point, the White House is less an institution and more a reboot of a show nobody asked to bring back.
He waltzed back into the White House like an actor, auditioning for a role he already bombed 4 years ago, this time with more sequins and less shame. His policy ideas, like Mad Libs written during a sugar crash, One minute, it's the economy. The next, it's toilets that don't flush enough. The Oval Office became less of a seat of power and more of an unwanted reboot.
A secretive billionaire's private sex island sounds kind of intriguing. Wrong.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
This is old news, and not in the fun Benghazi sort of way. Biden tripped on the stairs as recently as 2 years ago. And what about this salacious scandal?
The auto pen, which is, by the way, I think the biggest scandal. That's the scandal they should be talking about.
Desi didn't even blink. She dove headfirst into his greatest hits of absurdity, roasting his climate stance, or lack of one, like a bedtime story from someone who thinks the Earth is just a little warm, meteorologists. To him, they're just bad fortune tellers. And the economy. He treats debt ceilings like piñatas at a kid's party. The goal isn't fixing them, it's seeing how big they can get before they explode.
Campaign, Donald Trump promised that America would be climbing the respect charts again.
Under my leadership, America soon will be respected again, very quickly, respected like never before. America will be respected again and admired again. If we win, America will be feared and respected again.
Oh, yeah. Remember Trump's garbage era when he wore a garbage costume and drove up in a garbage truck? It was like, yummy.
When Trump made those infamous logic-defying statements, you could almost hear common sense gasping for air. His diplomacy style: threaten war in the morning, ask for a peace prize by lunch. International summits looked less like policy meetings and more like awkward reality show episodes. Desi was there, fork in hand, poking holes in every overcooked sound.
Yesterday, Donald Trump unveiled his big plan to relocate Gazans and turn their homeland into the world's holiest Hard Rock hotel and casino. And today, the reviews are in. The Arab world hates it, Democrats condemn it, Republicans have problems with it, and the Palestinians won't abide by it. Or as Trump says...
Can we ask about your Gaza proposal? A lot of people are talking about, obviously,
Everybody loves it.
I stand...
Then came the disinfectant comment, peak absurdity. Desi didn't even have to try. She just held up the nonsense and let it collapse under its own weight. His relationship with truth, Facebook relationship status, complicated. He'll wear a fact one day and deny it the next. He sharpies hurricane maps, crowns himself weather king, and expects applause. Desi shredded the vanity from the spray tan to the red tie to the nepotism like it was a bad sitcom cast list.
Yesterday was Election Day. We were all hoping it would make history, and boy, did it ever.
Mr. Trump made history last night. He will be the first convicted felon to be president of the United States.
On women's rights, Trump's policies felt like they were fished out of a 1950s steakhouse time capsule. Desi sliced through that with surgical sarcasm. His obsession with ratings. Legendary, he treated natural disasters like TV premieres. And those letters to dictators, let's just say his pen pal game was alarming. Desi turned every page of his political novella into high-octane mockery.
Even though the plan was totally perfect in every way, his staff spent the entire next day walking back every single part of it.
The president said his intention was to remove Palestinians from Gaza permanently.
If we can get a beautiful area to resettle people permanently.
But today, the press secretary said it would be temporary.
The president has made it clear that they need to be temporarily relocated out of Gaza for the rebuilding of this effort.
Oh, Trump's press secretary just had her first one.
The debates? Imagine a man who thinks sheer volume equals victory. Desi took each scrambled sentence and carved it into punchlines, sharp enough to cut through his wall of delusion. His environmental rollbacks, straight out of a villain's playbook. His rallies, more noise than message, more merch than meaning. Desi exposed it all as political theater with no plot.
He wasn't there to talk about Joe Biden. He was there to talk about America's proud military history. And that went great, too.
Recently, other countries celebrated the victory of World War I. France was celebrating, really. They were all celebrating. The only one that doesn't celebrate is the USA, and we're the ones that won the war. Without us, you'd all be speaking German right now. maybe a little Japanese thrown in.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Why would we be speaking Japanese when they were on our side?